Hello, boys and girls. This is Miss Davis. Welcome back to our virtual art class, or welcome back to art class, I should say, our first virtual art class. By the way, I have made this channel just for you guys and just kind of anybody who's stuck at home without something to do. We are going to do some art projects on here. Anyway, what we're going to do for the next 2 weeks is we are going to make a face mask. Now this is a no-sew face mask, so you do not have to have a sewing machine. We're actually going to use some heat tools though. You don't have to have them this week, but in part 2 of this video, you will need a glue gun and some kind of hot iron. So you can use, like what I'm using is a straightening iron. Anything that gets hot enough to kind of, melt the glue, if it solidifies on you, and just kind of iron out any wrinkles on our cloth here. But we're not going to use those until next week. This week, all you need is a piece of paper that is 6 inches by 9 inches, 2 pieces of cloth of your choice that is 6 inches by 9 inches, and then some kind of thicker cloth. So felt works really well if you have some of that around. I'm using pressed cotton. It comes in a big old roll. And just, this is going to be the buffer to keep the germs in and out. So, however thick you want it really, but just know the thicker the better. That's going to be a better barrier against the germs coming out of your mouth if you have to cough, or if somebody coughs beside you. The thicker it is, the better it will keep the germs from reaching you. Now, you do have to wash this mask every once in a while. And no mask is going to be 100% foolproof. You will still have to, wash it to get it clean. And then, just remember not to touch your face, wash your hands, use your Germ-X, and, use your, what am I trying to say? Your common sense, if you will, okay? Just try not to go out if you are sick, or wear a mask if you absolutely have to. And these masks are for, even if you are not sick, to keep yourself from getting sick. So a lot of people don't wear them if they're not ill, and that can be good to keep masks on the shelf for people who are ill, but I like to wear them out, just to keep myself safe. So this will kind of help us to keep masks on the shelves in stores so for the people who are ill, so that you have your own mask to go out if you are not ill, or if you are, you can use these, of course. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to just cut our pieces. And I like to start with a piece of paper that is 6 inches by 9 inches. So paper is just kind of easier to measure and cut out and work with. When you try to cut your cloth down, it's a lot harder to mess with. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a 9 inch by 6 inch piece of paper. You're going to need a pencil, that piece of paper, some scissors, and a ruler. Hope you guys can see this. Yes, okay. Let's scoot some other stuff back. My table's a little messy here because I've been making masks. So I think that's all you need. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I measured my paper. So we're going to go through this step by step. I'm going to put my cloth pieces away. Those are already cut. And I'm going to pull out my piece of paper here. I'm actually using cardstock. It's easier to work with because it's thicker, less flimsy. But you can just use a piece of notebook paper if that's what you got. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have our paper landscape style. That means it's wide instead of tall. You guys see? Okay. And I'm going to lay my ruler across it, and I'm going to make sure that my edges lined up. My ruler edge is on the paper edge, and I'm going to make a little mark here, leaving some space, so we can make our mark. And I'm going to make a mark here at 9 inches. And I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom of the paper. So I'm going to scoot the paper up and the ruler down, making sure that your edges are lined up first, and then make your 9 inch mark. And then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to trace over those marks. So you can make sure your ruler is lined up at the edge if you want to. I like to do it just because I'm used to doing it. But, as long as the 2 marks are lined up, you can just make that nice long line across there. And there's where we're going to cut at 9 inches. Now we got to make a 6 inch mark too. So what I'm going to do, how should I do this? Okay. Yes, I'm going to turn it portrait style. So if you can see, it's taller rather than wide. So this is portrait style. And we're going to make 6 inch marks now. So we got to leave a bit of paper so we can make our mark and make sure our edge is lined up there. And we're just going to make our 6-inch mark here at the top, and then we're going to push our paper up and our ruler down and make another 6-inch mark. Now this is where we need to make sure our edges are lined up so our marks are in the same spot. So now I'm going to turn it, put my ruler across both marks, and trace it. And I'm going to go ahead before I cut it out and write that this is 6 inches by 9 inches, and this is going to be our template for cutting everything else out. So try your best to cut on those lines. Hope you guys can hear me well. I'm not using my microphone. It kind of killed my battery earlier. Okay, so now I've got my 6-inch by 9-inch rectangle here. If I said square earlier, sorry about that. It's a rectangle. Now, I started with bigger pieces of cloth, and what I did was I laid my 6-inch by 9-inch rectangle over my cloth, and I traced it with a pencil. You might have to use a pen on the felt. That my pencil didn't work well on the felt, so just FYI. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get out my cloth, and I've got a nice big piece of Batman cloth. Sorry if you don't like Batman. You can get over it and use whatever cloth you want. I'm going to turn it backwards so you can see your pencil lines a little better. So I'm going to, oh, it looks like I've already started tracing here. So I'm going to go ahead and line that up with what I started earlier today. And I'm just going to take my pencil and make sure you hold it tight now. Can you see? Yeah, you can see. Okay, we're going to go across the top. Make sure you can see your line because you're going to be cutting on it later. Trace, trace, trace. All the way around. Hopefully my phone doesn't die. Trace, 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 trace. If it does, that'll be the second time that it has died trying to record this video. It is very frustrating. As you know, video eats up your battery. I had to actually stop using my very nice Blue Yeti mic because it was eating up my battery so fast that I was not able to record the whole video. So I've got one rectangle, not square. I'm going to do another one here, and I'll speed up the video real quick so you guys don't have to watch me do it a second time. Okay, and then I'm going to do this same thing to my felt, except I'm not going to show it on video just to save time, and I would use a pen on your felt or your cotton. Alright, now I'm going to cut my pieces out. As you can tell, cutting cloth is quite a bit harder than cutting paper. So just go slow. You do not have to do this very quickly. Now I'm taking my time. Okay, that's the key. Take your time. So what I did was just continue the line on the way up while I cut it. Then I'm going to cut my two pieces apart so they look the way they're supposed to look. Oh, I made a mistake. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect, but you want to be as close as you can so that you don't run into problems later. Okay, am I still recording? Yes, I'm still recording. Very cool. Hopefully I don't run out of battery here. At least on part one. Okay, so now I'm cutting along the top of one of my pieces. And you can use t-shirt material if you don't have like some cool material at home. Get out an old t-shirt. Just make the mask. An old pillowcase. Heck, get out some old socks. As long as your piece is 6 inches by 9 inches, it should work. Okay, now I'm going to cut my pieces apart. I've got the top of one here and the bottom of one here. And I'll have this little strip to kind of throw away or save, whatever you want to do. Okay, my cuts aren't perfect, but I'm trying my best to stay on the lines, and that is all you need to do. All right, obviously my pieces aren't perfect. Now, I've got my felt cut as well, and that's going to be, I think that's going to be it for today. Let me just make sure. So I've got 2 pieces of cloth now, same size, 6 inches by 9 inches, and that's what we did with our paper here. Then I got a piece of felt and did the same exact thing. So now I have a piece of paper for my template if I want to make another one later. I've got my felt as the germ barrier, and then I've got 2 pieces of cloth, and that's going to be it for part 1. So just make sure for part 1 you have a ruler, the cloth of your choice, some scissors, some kind of paper to cut you out a template, and a pencil. Now next week you need to be prepared with some heat tools. You can use your mom and dad's regular iron at home, but I like to use a straightening iron. So, you know, go grab your big sister's straightening iron. I know she won't like it, but do it anyway. Get you some heat tools. Okay, then we're going to need a hot glue gun. And, you know, you can get help from big brother or sister, from mom and dad. If you're not used to using the heat tools, please get some help if you can. But anyway, this is just a tutorial for you guys who are stuck at home to make your own face mask. Next week I will upload part 2 of this video, or maybe I can upload it a little early so you guys can work ahead. But that is going to be it for this part 1, and then next week just be ready with your heat tools and your pieces that we cut out this week. All right. Hey, the more you practice, the better you get. So if you mess up the first time, guess what? Just do it again, do it again, and do it again until you get the results that you want. Just always keep practicing, okay? All right, this has been Ms. Davis. I'm so glad to see you guys, and I hope you enjoy this new channel. I will have comments turned off on this new channel. Sorry about that, but this is for age 16 and under to enjoy, so we don't want any kind of negative comments on it. You can like, you can subscribe, and if you want to know whenever I upload another video, hit the notification bell or you will not get notifications. So if you're going to subscribe and think that's it, but you want notifications, make sure you click the notification bell right beside the subscribe button. All right, thanks, and I will see you guys in part 2. Bye!